Rest well, I hope?
So back to the diplomacy thing. My head wasn't screwed on. I'd leave it behind. Probably fast travel part of this. Apparently Sergeant Yumi has more security work for me. Let's take that off. There.
Pardon.
Chief Yassine, these orders... A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun.
Now, the UC's already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun?
I'm going to take Rune first.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Well said. There's no reason to assume they're any worse than us, despite their cultural beliefs.
Of course, but there is another wrinkle. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set up in the embassy. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish, making it hard for us to verify what's flora and what's ambassador. It would at least be a speedier negotiation. But I, of course, hope the ambassador is alive and well.
Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Okay, let's get the information on the Freestar Collective ambassador as well.
Ah, the good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
If Sam is any example of how stubborn the Freestar people can be, then I can imagine how difficult it must be dealing with this ambassador.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze.
UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you. Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up, you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Now, I forgot to ask about the staff member. Nice to know his name. On deputy.
Welcome back. Everything going well with the ambassadors? Official line is that you're to negotiate. My suggestion, she's also got a staff member.
Okay. So apparently I can't ask about the staff member at the moment. Oh well.
Good luck then, Captain.
So they suggest going for Radcliffe first. I'm going to go hit House Varun first. That is, if I can set the waypoints. Oh, it does want me to do them in order. Okay. But we're going to do the house right, and we're going to do Freestar Collective first.
I asked my boss what they're doing this time.
Sorry, but I need sign-off from you.
Maybe we should...
That was the wrong power. I really wanted to use personal atmosphere.
Collective. It seems like only yesterday.
You want a visitor? You'll find the ambassador in her office. Go on through.
I'm glad they didn't get upset at me gaining gravity inside their embassy.
Visitors are only allowed.
I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy visiting anything related to the Freestar Collective. But you lead, and I'll follow.
It may take some work to make sure that her affinity is higher, but just keep working on it.
As in more than one?
Well, let's listen.
All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
So I will probably have to
Sounds like it was a real mess down at the spaceport.
persuade her. Let's see, do I have any paramour? Yes, I do. "25% extra persuasion chance, and I'm wearing my suit."
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment? Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right. I was afraid of that. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go?
Okay, persuade check. Likely to be a difficult persuade.
You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One, to convince me. Understood. I'm listening.
So we've got a Freestar Ranger option here, which I could lead with. Only yellow and it's 5 points. Let's try it.
I don't care if you're the God Emperor of Neon. I won't make the same mistake you are right now.
We're gonna have to do this the long way.
I suppose you're right. Our job and our responsibility. It's possible I might be letting my history cloud my judgment. Possibly.
Okay, this is likely to not be a successful persuade. It's fine, we've got another way in.
And those lives are in my hands. I'm sorry, but acting just because you're afraid doesn't justify the action. Captain, I'm sorry, but my answer is not changing. The UC is just gonna have to find another way. Now, I presume you can see yourself out.
Yeah, they made that one very difficult because, of course,
Official business?
it's
Talk
supposed
to the
be.
ambassador.
We've got other ways in. So we're going to talk to Cameron Long over here, where there is access the device, speak to the ambassador, read the security slate. Were we given a slate? Yes, we were. We didn't pick that up. So Cameron Long.
That woman is an absolute... Oh, sorry. Oh, what? You're the Vanguard captain, right? You know, I was about to board the Nat to the spaceport when the alarm triggered. Sounds like I got real lucky. And like I've got you to thank for things not being a lot uglier. Well, then you have my earnest thanks. But look, they said you were coming here on official business. The ambassador likes to handle all that personally, even if she does have trained diplomats here to help her. And I don't want to get shipped back to Aquila City, so you should probably go speak to her.
An empath option.
What, you want me to work for you? Huh. Well, maybe, let's go somewhere to talk.
So, I don't know whether I'm leading him or he's leading me and I'm in the way.
So you want me to work with you? But why now? Why me? No, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. And no other city should have to go through what happened here. So then, what would you need from me? Her quarters. Huh. Oh, that's doable. And you and the UC will be providing me with what for my services?
They said I could probably recruit him. I'm going to try this.
Really? Okay, you've got yourself a deal. Okay, so there's a utility corridor that leads into the ambassador's quarters, which you can access through the main conference room. Here, the key. Whatever you do, don't let the guards see you entering or exiting the utility section, or you're gonna be in serious hot water. I'll keep an ear out for more instructions from the UC.
Okay, so now we know how we're getting there. Main conference room.
Guests can make themselves comfortable in the lobby.
Hello, Miss Guard.
I'm listening.
Sarah, I need you to wait here.
Hurry back.
Don't trust your stealth abilities. Warning that I'm trespassing. And that's where we're headed. So I would really love to be able to tell where people are.
Energy unleashed at your command. Unbelievable.
PO to join. Again. Which means you and I are stuck in this colonial rat cage until we die. But I think we might need to. Should expedite the process.
What are you getting at, ma'am?
I
When you
mean,
have
my
a few
requests
moments,
keep
there's
being
something I'd
rejected
like to
because they don't
discuss.
want to add a right. What if one opened
There's
up?
security.
The Leicester heart in what it used to be. It's not like anyone would miss him.
Eva, I think it's time to get some sleep.
Maybe we can reach out to some experts at that sort of thing, huh?
Good night, Eva.
Okay, nothing to see here. We're good.
I have an important personal decision to make, but I need to discuss something with you first.
It's now the time, Sarah. Okay.
Phew, thank you. So, where to start? Before I was with the Navigator Corps, I was career military, part of the United Colonies Navy. When the Colony War broke out, I was posted as the chief navigator on a warship, the Dauntless. Well, the position didn't last long. There was a particularly bloody battle. We were fighting over a world in the Eta Cassiopeia system. Worst fighting I'd ever seen. We lost 12 ships that day. 12. Including my own. No. This is
Sarah
important.
Paramore ran off
I need to tell you
before we
this.
finished this conversation.
The
It's
ship
too
was
bad.
barely intact. The captain and first mate died the previous day, which put me in command. A shrewd captain would have called for the crew to abandon ship, but I was so angry. I wanted to stay. I needed to fight. The Dauntless was a tough little ship. No shields and the hull was breached, but it still had power. And weapons. That's why I remained in the battle. Huge mistake. I believe you. But you haven't heard the worst of this. We fought for hours, but the damage was fatal. I gave the order to abandon ship and the crew piled into the escape shuttle. As the shuttle launched, I could see it was damaged. I heard screams before the radio cut. And last thing I saw, they were spiraling helplessly towards the planet's surface. There was nothing I could do. You're sorry. For me? If I hadn't been so stubborn, so eager to prove that I could handle command, my crew would have had more time to escape. My superiors. When the dust settled, the United Colonies gave me a medal. Can you believe that? A damn medal. I never even had a chance to find the shuttle wreckage and give my crew a proper burial. That's true, but still, it doesn't erase the real issue here. Remember when you said no one but me would have pushed harder to keep the Navigator Corps going? Well, this time, pushing too hard cost lives. Don't you get it? Everything I do, everything I touch, somehow falls apart. That's why I'm worried about us.
I have not flirted with her once. So there is really no us here. I'm not sure why she's using those terms.
You still have faith in me. I don't even know what to say. I never realized how much you cared about me.
So apparently when they do the affinity thing, they don't track whether it's just the fact that we've been adventuring together or whether I flirted her.
I feel exactly the same way. Phew. I didn't think that would be so draining. Thank you for being there, for listening to me when I needed it the most. I'll never forget this. I promise.
Yeah, and now was not the time or place for that discussion, Sarah. Okay, so we need to confront Radcliffe again. It's probably going to be another... Let's see. We do have some Hippolyta left. And let's see.
Did I not make myself abundantly clear, Captain? You're not getting access to the archives.
Oh, I think we can...
Excuse me? I have no idea what you're talking about. No. If the Council found out, I'd lose my position. I'd be exiled. Look, I believe we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. The issue at hand is one of trust, no? So perhaps if I can trust you to keep this little secret between us, then maybe we can find a way to trust the UC with access to the archives. Good.
Let's take the
Good.
deal. We are
I
here
appreciate
for a
you
specific
working with
reason.
me. Just like I'm sure our great powers will. In fact, I think there's an opportunity here. Keep both our factions happy and ensure an air of legitimacy to the whole proceeding. I can only let you get the information on the Terramorphs. Anything else and people will get suspicious. And all research will need to be monitored. Freestar scientific observers making sure everything's being used for the right purposes. But those two items should be enough to allay any suspicions.
Those sound great.
Good. Okay, let's go get you your access.
You're allowed 3 places. Conference room, lobby, or the ambassador's office. If you set foot anywhere else, there's going to be problems.
Yeah, and I suspect coming down
They
here
tell me
without
it
the
should only
ambassador
take a
would be
moment.
instant death.
And there. Here you go. I hope that'll be enough to maintain your discretion.
She's kind of twitchy. Okay, now back out to House Faroon. Now, I think I am going to put a cut in here. That took longer than I expected. And now I'm remembering House Faroon really is kind of a wander through. So you go off and have a good time while I'm preparing the next recording.